Okay, so part 3. This one is another aside. So these two quotes would go perfectly together for reinforcing each other and talking about Macbeth's initial thoughts on ambition in one paragraph, right? So again, our aside has the same effect of creating dramatic irony during the exposition early parts of the play. So we can look at Shakespeare's Macbeth's use of language here, okay? So he says that this prince is a step over which he must fall down. So a step he has to take, right? Or overleap. So you've got connotations of rising and moving up from in those verbs, right? A great metaphor that one of the students in our class used in his previous essay. Okay, Macbeth asks the stars to hide their fires and let not the light see his black and deep desires. Okay, so we've got a metaphor there, and the connotations and kind of image of that. You've got images of the supernatural. And you can look at black and deep and the connotations of that, of evil and darkness, etc. All right. You can look at step and overleap and fires as kind of all being quite destructive, and also, he's reducing life there, isn't it? Life is just a step. There's no value that Macbeth seems to be placing on it. So that's the effect ambition has. It's worth remembering, you've always got to be linking it back to ambition, okay? So some of our students, some of the guys in our class, had some really good ideas, but weren't linking it necessarily to the question. So make sure that whatever you do, you're tying it back every so often towards ambition. Okay. So now, comment by Lady Macbeth in Act 1, Scene 5. Okay. This is where she's received a letter from Macbeth, all right? It's worth mentioning comments like that in your writing to show you understand the structure of the play overall. So immediately, it's interesting that she focuses on Macbeth, thou, thy, okay? Useful to embed. They're all just old-fashioned words for you and yours, really, okay? But what can we say about ambition? Well, Lady Macbeth seems aware that she can only realize here means fulfill, achieve, only realize, achieve her ambition through a man. Okay? Lady Macbeth seems aware that she can only realize or achieve her ambition through a man. Context. Okay, so that's where you bring in your gender stereotypes that we've talked about in class. I'm not going to go over it again with you here. Interestingly, okay, this is something that crops up a couple of times with Lady Macbeth later on in the play as well, which is worth being able to research and kind of link in your essays. She talks about the milk of human kindness. She says, I fear you have too much of the milk of human kindness. This idea of milk, later on, she talks about her milk to gall, okay, when saying how tough and violent and cruel she can be. So it seems like, when linked to the context about gender stereotypes, that Shakespeare is sort of suggesting that ambition almost kind of what would be the word? Almost means being a man in almost every way, but also the fact that it's not natural to be changing yourself that way, or to not be having children, especially in those times. So there's also the idea of women's ambition as being unnatural. Okay, forgive my scruffy writing.